It is opening day of antelope season here in Nebraska. I'm out here for the first time this year. Super pumped. I've already seen a lot of antelope. I think I've seen 30 so far, including a pretty nice buck that I'm about to go after right now. But it's really cooled off the past couple days. I think it's been in the hundreds most of this week, but today it's 55 degrees right now. So way cooler. We just had a rainstorm last night and early this morning, so a little chilly for antelope hunting, but I kind of like it. It's pretty nice change from 100. So this group of antelopes about a mile and a half away. I think there's 13 or 14 of them in there. Just one buck, but he's a pretty nice buck. Seen a lot of does and fawns, and also a lot of hunters. I'm hunting public land this year. Tons of hunters out here. They did limit the non-resident permits for this year, but there's still a lot of residents out here and quite a few non-resident plates as well. So I guess plenty of people from other states got a tag, which is good to see them out here, but adds a lot of hunting pressure as well. I've been watching this group for about 15 minutes now, and they're just kind of feeding down in the bottom. It's a fairly stockable area. There are a lot of eyes since there's so many goats, but I think there's a chance I can get closer. There's a couple ditches and trees I could probably hide behind, so I'm gonna get closer, take a closer look, and see what I'm dealing with. I was able to get within bow range multiple times throughout the day, but their keen eyesight made it extremely tough to draw back without them noticing and spooking. I located nearly 50 goats on day one, and as Josh rolls into camp late that night, we were both excited for the following day.
They're up on a hill over here to the right, watching them. There's 4 antelope way down there. They're over a mile away. I can't tell what they are. I'm gonna have to get the spotter out. This group of antelopes walking across to the north, so we're gonna get down this fence line, try to get in front of them, and hopefully make a move. There's a couple other hunters pushing from behind, so we might just be able to use that to our advantage and have them push the antelope right past us.
There's a single buck out here that just bedded down. He's surrounded by cattle, but there's kind of a draw going right up towards him, so I'm gonna make a big loop around, get up on him. Mike is gonna stay on this hill up here and film from here.
After another exciting day of hunting, the antelope had won again, and our weekend trip was over. Alright, I'm back in Nebraska, antelope hunting round 2. As you can see, I'm in a blind this time. Josh and I tried spot and stalk last weekend, and we got close a lot of different times, but just couldn't quite make it happen. It's just so flat out here, and all the goats like to stay in the flat ground, so it's just so tough to stalk them. And we saw a couple different groups come to or around this water tank here, so I decided to get the blind this time set up. One of my coworkers is actually letting me use his blind, so thanks to him, because I didn't have one out here. But I'm in the blind for the rest of the day. I've got about 14 hours for an all-day sit. Hopefully a couple come in before that, but I already spotted 3 bucks out here about 400 or 500 yards. The same 3 bucks that Josh and I were chasing last week, I'm sure. So they're definitely still in here. Saw a couple other hunters on the way in, and it's supposed to be pretty warm today. I think 94 degrees, and it's been warm all week, so they should be hunting water somewhere. There are a couple other tanks about half a mile to a mile from here, but I think there's pretty good odds that a goat will come somewhere close to this tank today. Time to sit back for quite a few hours yet and see what happens.
just had those does come through. I think there were 3 does and 3 fawns, and they just ran right toward the tank. A couple of them ran all the way past the tank, and a couple of the fawns got a drink on the opposite side, and I could just barely see like their ears and their head because they're so small compared to this tank. The tank is actually pretty big, and there were a couple that kind of came to the left and kind of sort of gave me an opening, but I didn't have a range or anything. They're probably 30 to 35-ish, somewhere in there, but like I said, I didn't have a range, and they were just moving all over the place. The fawns were the only ones that kind of stood still, and I didn't really want to shoot a fawn, and I mean, it was just kind of madness. They were running all over the place, and then they just took off and kept running. So they're bedded back there about 600 yards, I think. But since they came in already, unless the other ones want to get a drink, I kind of doubt they'll come back today. That's just kind of how it goes with these water holes. The antelope are so cautious around them, but once they're comfortable, they seem to just run right in, get a drink, and then just keep going. And you have to be really quick and on your feet. So I'm looking about every minute to 2 minutes out the windows, hoping one of those bucks comes in.
5 hours later, I spot a doe and fawn headed straight for the water tank. I got one. I hit her a little bit back. I hit her right behind the shoulder, but she's quartering toward just a little bit, so it exited back. But she's not gonna make it far. She bedded down about 100 yards away. Oh, that happened fast. I was just sitting here. It's 3:49, and I was just listening to some podcasts and kind of looking out the windows, and she was right there at like 60 feeding. And that other one, that fawn, came in and got a drink, and they came around to the left side of my tank here, and they looked back at the decoy. I've got my decoy about 5 yards, 10 yards from the blind bedded, just to kind of give the antelope some confidence. We used it last December when Josh and I doubled up on antelope out here last year, and it worked really good, so I tried it again and it worked. They turned broadside, or quartering to anyway, and looked at the decoy for a while and gave me a perfect shot. The shot felt really good, but like I said, she was just quartering towards a little bit, so it'll just a hair back. It looks like she just fell over though, so I think she might be done. I just filled my 2021 Nebraska antelope tag. I wasn't going to be too picky. I've only got tomorrow left for the rest of the season, probably. Like we had last weekend, 3 days, and then two days this weekend, and that was going to be it for me. So if a mature doe came in, I was more than happy to take it, have some fresh antelope meat, and that's exactly what happened. So I think I got one. Well, it's been a little while now. I had to get out of the blind and spot and stalk and crawl up on that goat again and get a second shot in her, but she's down and I got her. Pretty unfortunate. The first shot I made was just too far back. She was quartering toward more than I thought, and the front entry wound looks good, the side I was shooting on, but the exit wound, it was too far back and just wasn't a great shot, unfortunately. Kind of made me sick, but it's over, and my antelope tag is filled, so let's get out there and go check her out. Super thankful to be sitting behind this Nebraska doe antelope. Antelope are just so tough with the bow. We tried them spot and stalk last weekend and got close a couple times, but man, it's just tough, especially out here in public land. There's other hunters out here. Not too many, I actually haven't even seen any today, but always an awesome experience to come out here out west and chase these critters around. They really sharpen the bow hunting skills, that's for sure. Like I said, I had to make some recovery shots on this antelope and pretty bummed about that. I really like to get him down in the first shot, but unfortunately that's just bow hunting and that's just the way it goes sometimes. I'm thankful that she didn't suffer too long and I was able to get another shot on her pretty quickly, but this is going to be some awesome meat for the freezer. Antelope is some of my favorite meat to eat, so it was a good hunt out here. Pretty thankful I got it done this weekend. Tomorrow is going to be my last day for antelope this year, so super blessed and super thankful for another awesome bow hunting adventure.